Warning, this podcast contains graphic language. What is going on out there in the ministry? What's going on out there, Red Pill, the real Red Pill? What's going on, Nick Chow? What's going on, incels out there? Welcome to Kinder Rican Podcast, aka KDR. I'm right here in the Pacific Northwest, just podcasting it up all across the world. You name it. From New Zealand to Canada to whatever out there, all these men out there, hanging around on CockTube and stuff like that. So if this is your first time on the podcast, welcome, and it's going to be a shit show. So no further ado, let me start with the intro real quick. Here we go, gentlemen. Let's see who's in the he's house.
Serious on this track, fam.
Because I respect you, that we can. I do. Oh, he's simping for some pussy. Oh, bitches. I'm being simp all day. Fuck you. Oh, he's simping for some pussy. Oh, bitches. I'm being simp all day. Fuck you. Because I respect you, that we can. I do.
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on out there, for heaven's sake? Welcome to the podcast. It's kind of early or late. But anyhow, election took place yesterday and stuff like that. And I'm going to give, when it comes down to the podcast, I give a true story. I don't have to make anything up, So, for some reason, I live in the Pacific Northwest, right? In the Seattle area. My ballot, it was gone with the wind. So 4 days before the election, they give me this fucking little card saying something about this and that, and I found it very bizarre, right? Because I was like, what the fuck is the ballot is going on, right? So I say, fuck it. It's Tuesday. I'm going to go out there and physically vote for local issues. That's what I care about. Prop this, prop that. I don't give a fuck what's going on in the federal government and shit. Yes, the governor or the representative from the Senate and shit like that. Yes, prop this, prop that. That's why I care. And I deny everything. I went out there in my local state, and they need everything. They need more shit, more taxation. Take away this money to give to the firefighters. Take away this money and give it to these teachers. Take away this money and no, fuck off. Literally, fuck off. You gotta tell them, no more taxes. It's theft. But anyway, it was to me, it was a statement to vote in a presidential election, you know. I live out here. This is not a state that is like Ohio swing state. It's not. It's a blue state. Same thing with Oregon. Same thing with California. It's blue, no matter who. They got this game unlocked. But I say to myself, well, what the fuck? Since I'm here, might as well vote for the popular vote for presidency. But the experience, it was fucking totally fucking awesome. It fucking was. You know, sometimes, you know, this is the way I see things. For some reason, the ballot wasn't here. I could have been lazy and drop it on the box and shit like that. But it didn't happen. Matter of fact, it didn't happen with my son, who's 25. But we got the same little carts and shit. And I asked my son, like, hey, listen, man, I want to go vote out there physically just for the experience. You wanna come with me? He's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm busy doing shit like that. Cool. I get it, I understand it. Busy man and stuff like that. But see, I knew this that I would get in a little bit more details later, okay? But like my experience living out here in the city of Tacoma in Pierce County, there was a lot of fucking men out there and a lot of women. I was in line for 1 hour and 45 minutes, gentlemen. Did you realize how much money I can make? At least $100. At least $100. Low burn, maybe $80. And I'm thinking to myself, is this a waste of time or not? And I'm doing all kinds of shit in my mind, right? Because I've been, you know, I have done, just bear with me, I've done what they call physical voting with machines and stuff like that. And it used to be, they had these like different places. Like you can go to like a church and stuff and cast your vote, you know. So they congregated every motherfucker in this fucking building of the county. And the lines was out of fucking control. I went out there at noon. At noon. Never mind the parking. Never mind the line of the parking and shit. Right? At noon. I did not come out of that motherfucker until like 2:15. But I'm doing an observation. I'm looking at the military man out there who service out here next to their base and shit. I'm looking at women with children. I see women carrying their children. I see fathers carrying their children. I see this and I see that, you know, and shit like that. Though that picture there is there. I cannot make this shit up. I cannot. And I thought to myself, God damn it. People love their freedom. people will stop whatever the fuck they gotta stop because they know that something's not correlating and happening right. They know. And the only way they can do it is by doing this bullshit of voting. It's understandable. I understand. I get it. I live in a very leftist. I can call this state liberal anymore. I cannot. We used to be old classic liberals in the state of Washington, Seattle area, and shit like that. These people have become leftist maniac radicals. It will not surprise me one bit when the inauguration of Donald Trump, they will burn the city of Seattle down. It will not. It won't bother me because I know it's going to happen. I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if it doesn't happen. And I told many people, do you honestly think that Kamala's going to win? To my friends out here, let's be honest with each other. I understand we live in Washington State, a blue state, but in a nation, why? No. No. People are fed up with bullshit and nonsense. With the racial identity. With the so many genders out there. With their kids dealing with school and bullshit and all kinds of stuff. People are fed up with their bad food. People are fed up with inflation. People are fed up with taxes. People are fed up every fucking where. Insurance. People are fed up. So guess what? When people are fed up, they're going to vote with their money, with their pockets and shit. The American people are not dumb. Not only that, they brought some illegal immigrants from, I don't know, from fucking all kinds of parts of the world, right? Because it's not only Latino immigrants from South America, from China, Africa, this and that and shit like that. And they run these motherfuckers out here like at least 10,000 million. I mean, 10 million. Not 10,000 million. My bad. My bad. Minimum. Between 10 and 20 million. And where they're cohabitating? In the cities. And the cities, they're overwhelmed by themselves. Because I live in a city and I see my own United States citizens hooked up on fentanyl, living in tents, running around the streets, my own citizen. But they got these people they brought from I don't know what the fuck shit they brought them, living in an expensive fucking hotel in New York City or everywhere with food stamps, with money and stuff. Meanwhile, we are here stuck with his fucking bill. Because we have to pay tax for this shit. And taxation is theft. It's theft. Which way you look at it is theft. It has proven to me in the last 2 years it's even more theft than ever. Right? So, of course, every voter, women, men, they look at this charade, they look at the groceries, they look at the gas price, they look at the insurance, they look at this shit. They have to cut down on this, they have to cut down on that. You know, they don't even have a savings account and stuff. They're living paycheck to paycheck and shit like that. What the fuck you expect? Because it's reality. Oh, the financiers, the mainstream financiers out there, Forbes and the MSN money and Fox money. Oh, the economy is doing great. Oh, the economy is doing... No, it's not. It's not. It's doing great for the stock market. It's doing great for the investors, whatever. But the American public, we're suffering out here, man. We are. Now, when I knew that gig was up, and I knew this for years, and I'm going to tell you this briefly, and then I'm going to move forward. The gig was up when it saw the election with Donald Trump. The gig is up. It is proven right now. Obama got the most popular vote for 60 million vote, something like that. Joe Biden got 80 million votes from popular and everybody else. Donald Trump, they counted is like 60 something or 50 something. Right? It was all lie and deception. From the previous election to now. Now, the proof is in the pudding. Right? Trump won the first election. COVID happened. This and that. There was some trickery out there. These old senile men, I knew this guy, he was nuts from day one. But he had a mental issue. You know, he had kind of next. He was like, he had mental issues. Anyway. And then from that, we move forward to what happened yesterday. And the numbers do not lie. Numbers do not lie. Words talk, number scream. So, to put this in a little perspective, and just bear with me. Because I didn't find this surprising. Not one bit. At all. To add up salt to injury, right? Because in I'm a decent study of history. I'm not expert, but I know one thing for fact. Since when elected a president, the Democrats did it. They did it. There wasn't no convention or what they do this what they bring. I forgot the terminology. Just bear with me because I'm kind of tired. But there wasn't. Shit. My bad, man. Because everything I'm trying to reflect in the last year or so, right? Not even last year. It was like 6 months ago, whatever, right? Because I thought to myself, how come the Democrats just elect this fucking bitch? And they didn't have a choice about it, a vote and stuff like that, super delegates and stuff like that. I forgot the terminology. I'm like, what the fuck? What's going on here? I found that very bizarre. And freaky. Just bear with me. The heater kick in and it's late. And it's fucking cold out here. It's like fucking freezing out here. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to collate these events. I know I'm ranting, but of course it's a fucking podcast, so I can speak my mind. So for the last 4 years, all these events, right? You look at it, and then election is here, right? There's a lot of people like, we are shocked, especially the mainstream media. We are shocked how this particular race voted, or this particular group voted, and this and that, and bullshit and horseshit. They shocked. They are appalled. They're blaming shit on the individual who decide, hey man, we have 4 years of Trump, 4 years of Biden, and they both sucks, but I'm gonna take the suckiest one. They both sucks, to be honest. Hey, the way I see this thing, choose your poison. Which one have the survival rate? Which one have the survival rate to live? That's how I see this thing. But I understand it, I understand the game. The game is rigged, But you have to choose your poison, right? Or not participate. But I'm talking about as a general observation. And reality, God damn it. Come on, man. Come on, god damn it. Shit. Fuck. How can you not vote for Trump? This nigga got shot in the fucking face. That did it for me. I said, you know what? These motherfuckers got shot in the face. Shot in the fucking face. I'm done. Who survived until election or after election? Guess what? I'm down. I don't give a fuck. That was my thing. And I'll tell you why. And I'm going to be honest. If this man would have died or got killed on a public square, his brain shot out like they did with Kennedy, there was thousands of video recording, I will not know what would take place after that in this country. I won't have one iota. People would go fucking nuts. Motherfucker got guns and shit. They would be fucking paranoid. You know, after that took place, and I'm going to be honest, and I did not know the news until like 2 hours later. And I saw the video because I was busy working. 2 hours later on a Saturday. I didn't know what the fuck took place. And my heart stopped. It literally stopped. And I say, oh my God. If they would have killed this man, you do not know what would take place in this fucking country. And I say to myself, I'm glad they missed. To be honest. To be real. Now, to add up assault to injury, right? They put a senile old man out there for 4 years. And to add up assault to injury, like the American people are stupid or we ignorant or I don't know, are we watching too much TikTok? Are we watching too much porn? Are we watching too much video games? I don't know. I don't have a clue. I don't do that shit. But, you know, I think for most part American people, rational people, you know, we are rational. We're not radicals and shit like that. So they decide to implement this fucking skank out there and try to bamboozle is going to be the first black women and shit like that, right? And, you know, the leftists, which I know really good about these leftist maniacs. By the way, Donald Trump got to thank me for this because I've been calling them leftist maniacs for at least 14 years due to the fact that I live in a Seattle area and they are leftist maniacs. Right? So they decided to put so-called black women and shit like that and trying to operate like they did with Obama and stuff like that, right? But a female version. And these fucking leftist maniacs from the pits of hell, it did not work for Hillary Clinton. It did not work with Kamala. Because the patriarchy is not dead. The patriarchy is not dead. We're still here and we're still kicking, motherfuckers. regarding all this leftist feminists and the patriarchy and shit like that. The patriarchy is here. It's here. It will stay for a little bit. But patriarchy is here. Fuck them. Misogynist pig like myself. Yeah, I'm still here. Oh, yeah. I am one misogynist motherfucker. I don't give a fuck. According to this crazy leftist maniac. Yes. What can I say? I am a misogynist. I am. Not only a misogynist, I'm a misogynist pig. Because I believe in two things. I don't believe in gendery and shit like that. I believe in two things. Men and women have their own roles. Men play a part of the role, women play a part of the role. Because it's simple shit. It's biology. You cannot fight biology. Men are better things at doing a task and shit like that. And women are better doing better tasks than men. That's how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. And these leftists are so fucking crazy. They brought these ideology from campuses, from different universities and stuff like that. That it's been so fucking. I don't even take them seriously anymore. Whoever put their kids in university, they have to be like fucking nuts and crazy, because if you enroll your child in some kind of fucking campus bullshit, they're gonna come out even more crazy they went in. You know? No wonder they spent thousands of dollars and shit like that, and they can find a job. Because they've been indoctrinated. But the leftists they're very smart, man. They understand this shit. They know the media, they know the internet, they know the education system, they know all kinds of words of the leftists are fucking excellent in English language wording. Yeah. Those who understand how they flip the language of wording, you get it. And he was like, no, I'm not going to participate in that bullshit. I'm going to give you the latest example. The latest. Which is horseshit and bullshit. And I am so glad the Latinos did not follow this nonsense. The Latinx. I had this bitch call me Latinx. I was like, excuse me? What the fuck is Latinx? What is Latinx? You mean Latino? Is that hard to pronounce, Latino? Can you pronounce Filipino? Which we got a lot of Filipinos out here. What is this Latinx nonsense shit? Oh, excuse me. Yeah, yes. See, they always change the fucking English language. They are master of that shit. That's just one example. I can provide different examples how they manipulate the English language. Gender. It's no fucking gender. There's no fucking gender. It's sex. Female and male. That's one example. I can go out on and on and on how these leftists manipulate the English language. I know this for fact because I live out here in the Pacific Northwest, near to Seattle, and I know how these people look. I know how they operate. I know how they think. And everything. The leftists are tricksters. I'm not talking about liberals. Not liberals. These leftist maniacs. And they're everywhere. People got this misunderstanding, between the leftist and the liberal. The liberal is liberal thinking. You don't force anything to nobody and just let everybody do shit. That's the good old-fashioned liberal, which is now, that's the problem that they're having with the Democrats. It's so bizarre and funny. And I've been doing this observation for the last 10 years. And they do this for a reason. I do not know why. But they switch. Right? But like I said previously, I'm a student of history. Now the left came right and the right came left. And I'm going to talk about in the current 10, 12 years, right? The Democrats, it used to be, like I said previously, liberal, anti-war, discrimination, live and let it live. They used to correct the media. They used to do this stuff. They used to do all kinds of shit, right? Where the Republicans more like more industrial, more money, more bankers and stuff like that. So it used to be the Democrats used to be like for the average person, and the Republicans used to be for the corporations. Now it's the opposite. Now the Democrats for more corporations, not only that, but more control, because we live in a different era, and more control, and where the Republicans more freedom, more enterprise, less taxes and shit, and so on and so forth, right? So I saw this drastic change, and I thought to myself, holy fuck. It kind of reminded me back in the 1960s, which I studied history of the 1950s, where it was the opposite, right? And that's the problem of having a two-party system. So, and just bear with me. When I do this analogy and stuff like that, it's a really mind clusterfuck, trust me. It's not easy to talk about this shit. It's easy to talk about it, but the understanding of human beings and stuff like that, is very complex. It is very complex, for heaven's sake. We're trying to figure all this shit out. I'm just my thoughts out here and putting this podcast and shit. So moving forward to what took place, it was given. I mean, I saw it coming. I saw this tsunami coming. I saw it. I really did. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't surprised. You know, you have a lot of people there on YouTube and stuff like that. Are they gonna steal the election? They need to win big, and Kamala did, and Trump did, and it's political theater to me, right? But I do understand it, and I do get it, and I do participate for very minimal. Sometimes to make a statement, that's it. Or sometimes just for shits and giggles, because I can. Like I took my time, my liberty, just to go out there and check out shit. Watch people, how they behave. This, that, you know. And I'm going through this line, to be honest, because sometimes, you know, I'm standing in line, just like everybody else. I don't have a VIP pass or nothing like that. But I do an observation and shit. People quit. They quit. They left. It's like, oh, this shit is too long for me. They left. Like, oh, fuck this shit. And I get it. I really, I do get it. It's like, this shit's too long. I got something else to do besides standing on this line for this day. I get it, though. But the observation was, it's like, look at these people. Dios. Staying in this fucking line and sitting and just sitting, and not sitting, just like standing up in the line, right? Because, you know, I'm trying to figure this thing out, right? I'm doing observation and shit like that, and I'm also thinking to this to myself. But I'm prepared for this situation, you know. I got the headsets. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to music. So I'm just out there. It's like, fuck it. That's sort of like going to a concert or something like that, right? Or no, not too much like a concert. It's like, you know, when you go to TCA, to the airport, and it's a fucking huge fucking line, and you gotta go to banners and stuff like that, and people direct you go this way and that way. You know, I decided to punish myself, you know. that's what I did. Yeah. That's the best way that I can put it. You know, they got the strap things, they hang around, you know, with the strap and shit. And you see old folks in wheelchairs. That's how I saw this thing. I was going to the airport. For heaven's sake. I thought about that shit, right? I'm like, this is like going to the airport, but hey, what the fuck is once every 4 years? So after my punishment of 2.5 to 2:45 minutes waiting out there, finally, okay. So finally, I got in front of the lady. And just bear with me, I started early. I went out there like 12:30, something like that, yeah. There's like, maybe like, let me see, I counted, it's like Because they raised their hand up and some shit. Maybe 12. 12 to 13, the most. Getting people to vote and whatever, right? And, you know, when you getting close to go to vote and give you the ballot, they give you this little card so you can fill up the information and shit like that. Right? So I give the, you know, the little information and stuff like that, driver license information and stuff. And I was like, hey, I never got the ballot box. I never got the ballot envelope. What happened? What's going on here? And the old lady, she's out there typing this shit. We sent it to you on October 16th. I'm like, I did not receive no ballot. But I did receive this 5 years ago. I mean, 5 days ago with this little card saying something that I need to come over here and vote. And I told her, what's going on out here? What's going on? And I've been a voter in the state of Washington for like 25 years. What's going on? I used to get my ballot and shit. I can throw it away or whatever. But I did not receive one this year. So, and she cannot explain anything. She was like, oh, I don't know. Okay. But we're going to cancel the last one, but we're going to have you this one. I was like, fine, dandy. Let's do this thing. She go out there and print it out. And here's your new ballot, Mr. So-and-so. Blah, blah, blah. I go outside. And these all kinds of folks outside, sitting outside. Just filling up the ballots and shit. People who stationed from the military base, people this, just outside because they got the drop box inside a building. And you seeing all kinds of shit, and I'm thinking to myself, holy fuck. To be real, I look at all these folks out there. Right? I'm coming out the door and I see people outside just filling up the ballots. Now my car is like a fucking mile away. My car is like way the fuck out there, right? Not a mile away, but my car was in a same facility, but it was fucking far, right? And I'm walking toward my car, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to just fill it up in my car, right? I was like, fuck this shit. So I go back to the entrance, and they just happen to have one chair available. So I'm out there. I'm out there. True story. I'm out there handling this paper ballot in my lap and just filling up the blanks and shit, you know, filling up this and stuff like that. And blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then they got that envelope, and they got another envelope, and they got the drop box. So I was like, okay, fuck it. I did this shit just for shits and giggles. So I'm walking out towards my car, which is like really far, far, far away. They had cops. No, it was a traffic clusterfuck and shit. They had cops. They doing these car direction and shit like that. When I came out of there, like 2-something, the line was fucking outside of the building. And I was like, holy fuck. Is something going on out here that people do not like. From all kinds of walks of life. Black, white, women, men, gay, this, that, you name it. Transgender. I saw transgender people out there and shit. And I'm walking towards my car and I thought to myself, holy shit. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be a fucking... People are pissed. They're pissed. Fuck yeah, they're going to vote. What else they going to do? That's the only way they can take the frustration out, by at least trying to change the system. Now, what I mean, all walks of life, all kinds of, but I noticed one pattern though. And I did notice one pattern. Men voted like fucking crazy. It was men in my state, right here in my state, in my local area. Men went like crazy. There was more men than women voting. And I noticed that shit. And I say to myself, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. This so-called patriarchy is not dead. It's not dead. We're still living and kicking. Outnumber women. Old man, middle-aged man, young man. And I look up, I was like, the testosterone was so fucking strong that I was like, holy fuck. Yes, they have women, but the men outnumber the women. It sure fucking did. Even the transgender men, but they think themselves like women. They still men at the end of the day. I wish I can lie to you, but my eyeballs do not deceive me. You know? I voted. I went to the grind. And I went to this place to pick up a carry out. I sit at home and watch the elections. I had a 6-pack of beer, a bowl of weed, and I say to myself, let's watch this fucking shit show. I came home around 7 p.m. Pacific time. So the Republican won some states and stuff like that. And I'm just like sitting here and just going to different channels and looking at the internet and doing my research and stuff and time and stuff, right? I didn't know it was going to be so bad until like 9 o'clock Pacific time. And I say to myself, holy fuck. These motherfuckers gonna sweep the whole fucking shebang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. It was a triple bang, bang. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting like, yeah, Donald Trump is gonna win. I did not expect the Senate and shit like that. I did not expect that stuff at all. Now today, they always, the leftists are very tricksters. Like I said previously on the podcast, they're very tricksters when it comes down to language and shit like that. And they always want to blame somebody for not winning the election. They are tricksters from the pits of hell. Trust me, I live with these folks out here. These folks are not your libertarian or liberals, classical liberals. They are leftist maniacs. And they believe on their ideology because they've been so indoctrinated through universities and stuff like that. Oh yeah, out here, everybody is a bachelor degree. In the Seattle area, everybody got a bachelor degree. Yes, they all graduated from universities. All of them. Right? See, they pretend they care about minorities and so on and so forth, but they don't give a fuck. They care about themselves. That's it. But they pretend like they care. But they don't care. They really don't give a fuck. Do you actually think that leftists care about what's happening in Ukraine? They don't give a fuck about that shit. They pretend they care. They put a flag out there. Trust me. I lived out here in this insanity land. They put Ukrainian flags everywhere. Whatever flag there is, rainbow flag, transgender flag. They got these signs. Something about we believe in science, we believe in this, we believe in that, and this shit, and everybody's equal, and everybody's bullshit. It's nonsense. It's horseshit. But they believe this. They really fucking do. To the soul. They really believe this shit. They really do. They believe this shit. Trust me, I know. They believe this shit. My collective thought went to hell in a handbasket. Oh, yeah. So the leftists, they're always tricksters. So I'm looking at I woke up because I do this every election, even though in some election I don't vote. And what I do a data research, right? The day after election. And I go and for the last at least 10 to 14 years, I do a data research. What kind of group voted for this? Because it's registered. It's registered. And I go with women, and then categorize and categorize and categorize and categorize and Republican, Democrat, Independent, and so on and so forth and shit like that, right? So I started with the state of Washington. And the only reason that Kamala won the state of Washington, and it was very close, is because the people like myself, people voted for like Robert Kennedy. They used like pretty much just putting it was another I forgot one of the Green Party members and stuff like that. and shit like that. But it was very close. You know what they do? They just cast the vote and say, fuck this shit, right? They out of the system. And I was like, oh, that makes kind of sense. It makes sense, okay? It makes sense. And then I look at what took place yesterday. And so I go to the demographic. I know this for the last 10 years that white women are the biggest voting bloc in the United States. I know this for a fact. Nobody can take this away from me. I did my research for years. I know this for a fact. Right? So I'm looking at data and stuff like that. And well, I look at this thing, and the male vote went like bananas overall for Republicans. Just the male voter was out there like fucking insane. From white, this and that and shit, stuff like that. But the Republican gained more males this year than ever in history, in modern history. From male, especially black, but especially Latinos. Especially Latinos. So I'm watching clips from these psychopaths out there by the Mockingbird media. And I'm listening to some clips and shit like that. Because these people are sick. They are very fucking sick. I think it was Morning Joe or something. A clip just came in my Facebook. And they're blaming white women, the reason that Donald Trump won. Because white women did not vote enough. Right? And then Al Sharpton thought about, we got a misogynist problem in this country. Especially with Latino men, Hispanic men, and black men and shit. Right? And I knew the fix was in. I know these people are fucking crazy. I knew they was crazy. And then being crazy. But they have become insane. There's a misogyny problem in this country. There's no motherfucker. There ain't no problem in this country but you motherfuckers. Now, I looked at the data and stuff like that. And the headlines. Here we go. The headlines. Here we go. Latino men overwhelmed the vote and stuff like that, and blah, 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 and shit like that. They don't understand because they think that black people, Latino people, Asian people, white people Native American people, we are monolithic. No, we're not monolithic. We get it. When something smells like shit, guess what? We're going to vote with our pockets. It doesn't matter. Now, this is the so-called liberals, leftists. They're supposed to care about Latinos and blacks and Asians and shit like that and stuff like that, right? Now, all of a sudden, it's a phenomenon. It's a fucking phenomenon. It's a fucking phenomenon for them. How come so many Latino men voted for Trump? Did better than this, that, and that, whatever. How come so many black men voted for this more than in the history of Republican Party, modern history of Republican Party, so on and so forth, right? Because, white men too, by the way, white men, like men, they went out there and voted. All kinds of creeds, in my point of view. Because if I can see it locally, in my, like I said previously, my story that I did yesterday, I can see it nationally on the national scale. I can see it. I can dig it. I can dig it, man. So now they got this in their mind, because I don't know what their mind is. They're wondering why so much Latino men and black men voted Republican. They don't get it. They don't understand shit. They think that every fucking Latino, black, or whatever, we hooked up in needles or smoking fentanyl or fucking sniffing cocaine. Or I don't know what the fuck they think. I really don't. I think they, to be honest, the leftists, I think that's their ideology. That every group got something, they got to feel sorry for them. Especially men. That's how they think. To be honest. Just one man talking. Just one man talking here. To put this in perspective, and just bear with me. Let me play you a little soundbite here. Let me see. Just bear with me here. And this took place. Let me see. So this 10 hours ago after the election. 10 hours ago, something like that. Now I'll say 24 hours. But it's after the election, and and it took place in New York City, in the Bronx, which I've been there. I got a cousin still live out there. Most of my folks, they used to live in Brooklyn, like my cousins, my uncles, and stuff like that. But they moved to Pennsylvania. So I have a Puerto Rican family. They from the city, and they migrated to Pennsylvania. or Florida, or they went back home to Puerto Rico and stuff like that. So I'm gonna play you these soundbite here because these people, they don't have no clue what the because now they got us. See, the thing is they got the Latino man in Target, right? Just like they did the black man, because the black man is misogynist. The black man is this. So now the next target is going to be Latinos and shit like that, you know. And then the next one is going to be my Muslim brothers and shit like that, because they believe in the patriarchy, right? So they move on. They progress. When they call it progress, they want to take away male figure from the family. That's all it is. Progressivism and shit like that. It's Marxism. And they progress and they progress and progress until you don't have a nuclear family, until you don't have no sovereignty, until you have nothing, you know. So this is the great phenomenon out there, and all the headlines that I read. Black men, Latino men, they don't understand what took place in the election and stuff like that. And men in general, because they say men went overwhelming on the election. Because you know why? Men know better. We know better than women. Bottom line. We understand one notion. Well, we understand a lot of notions. But when it came down to these election, I don't think, well, unless you're leftist, that women can do a man's job. The leftists think they can. But rational men thinkers understand, and rational women thinkers, they understand they're not for that task. So let me play you a local news outlet out there in New York City. This took 10 hours ago, but it probably took hours ago, like 24 hours ago. So let me play you this soundbite here, and just bear with me.
114,000 Latinos, more than half of the population of the borough.
Marcus Solis lined the Castle Hill section with a very important assignment. Marcus.
Well, Bill and Sade, we certainly heard an earful today from Latinos who voted for Donald Trump to address some of their concerns, which are not much different than other Americans: illegal immigration, crime, the economy. And while there's an acknowledgement that Donald Trump may not be the perfect candidate, there is an admiration for a brash New Yorker who tells it like it is.
I voted for the one that won.
Meet David Miranda, proud Puerto Rican, native Bronxite, happy Trump voter who lives in AOC's congressional district. And oh yeah, he's now a former Democrat.
America's got to get back to America again, what it was when I was a young kid. It was a beautiful thing. Now, I don't know America no more, really. It changed a lot.
He's not alone. Final numbers aren't in yet, but data from this very small sample size in Castle Hill shows it's gone red. Trump doubling the number of votes he won in 2020. It's where Knockout Barbershop is located. Trump made a campaign stop here last month. Javier Rodriguez is also Puerto Rican, also a lifelong Democrat. He believes Latino support for the president-elect has grown for reasons not much different than those of other voters.
His policy, the way he want to bring up the economy, the way he want to place safety, close the borders, the schools, the teaching, the kids, all that. I like for him.
Anthony Pena has another theory.
Men, I feel, not male chauvinists, but, they feel like
maybe a woman can do the job.
In May, Trump staged a rally in Crotona Park to court minority support in the borough. But the comments 10 days ago by a comic who referred to Puerto Rico as a floating island of garbage sparked protests. So how did Latino supporters reconcile that?
I feel a little uncomfortable, but you know what? It's not about our people. It's the people are running the country, the state of Puerto Rico.
He didn't mean it no harm. He just was saying actually that the Democrats ruined Puerto Rico.
Finally, reaction from a non-Trump voter.
Latinos, especially in this area, probably were like first generation people and they work hard and so forth, and they just tired of maybe the system the way it is.
And there you go. It's a system. They tired. And that's a small community out there in the Bronx. Imagine that small community in the Bronx on a scale of the United States. We fucking tired. We are fucking tired of the system. Taxes is out of control. You cannot be a self-dependent man making your own bread and shit without Uncle Sam taking shit away from you to give away to fucking foreign wars they ain't got no goddamn business doing out there. Why my money going out there? Why my money is coming down to these people in the last 2.5 years living in fancy hotels in New York City for $400 a day and shit. Put them in different places where it's your tax money, my tax money, and we out here barely surviving. These motherfuckers living like kings and shit with food stamps and welfare money and shit like that. Tell me. You tell me that shit. Tell me. Of course we fucking fed up. I said it to myself. I don't give a fuck who's get elected. Who's gonna cut my taxes? Who's gonna make this? Who's gonna bring these motherfuckers migration back to where the fuck they came from? Take them away from the United States. They don't belong here. They're intruders. They're parasites. You know, I hope that Donald Trump stick to the promise. Mass migration. Get away from my country. Go out there where the fuck you belong. China, Africa, whatever they could, Haiti, whatever the fuck they came from. Get away from us. Mass migration needs to take place. What the fuck kind of shit is this? I'm working my ass off and shit, paying taxes and stuff to give my money to foreign wars and fucking fuck shit face. They just came out here yesterday. Fuck off, man. Fuck off. Yes, we fucking pissed. Yes, we fucking pissed. Let me breathe in. Let me breathe out. Let me calm down. You know, I meant this podcast to be only 30 minutes. It's an hour late going on here. But the sun will rise tomorrow. And tomorrow's going to be a brighter day. You have to give thanks for whatever little you have or whatever a lot you have. You got to give thanks to the gods out there, or the God, or whoever you believe, that you are here on earth at this time. You gotta be thankful, man. I do. And I'll tell you why I'm thankful. I see my own citizens living in tents. Living in tents on the streets. Hooked up in fentanyl. Walking around like zombies. I don't criticize these people. I don't. They all out here, they come from all walks of life. White, women, men, Asian, Latinos, blacks, shit, hooked up in drugs, living in tents. All kinds of creed, all kinds of color. They ask me if I have a dollar. If I have a dollar in my pocket, I give it to them. Right? But in this last so-called 3 years, 2 years, I've seen it drastically change of the homeless population and drug addicts within my own city. Like, drastically. It's like, where these people came from? What the fuck is going on? Something's not working properly. Something's going on out here that I cannot comprehend. But I have a clue, but I cannot put my finger on it. But it's not working out for American citizen. Do you think I give a fuck where my tax money goes? As long as they're gonna help the citizen, like veterans. How many veterans out there homeless? Huh? My dad is a veteran. How many people who got mental disability and combined with drugs are homeless? Do you think I care if my tax money goes to help those people out there? And I'm not saying that money is the solution when it comes down to my tax, but since I'm paying taxes, might as well put it in good use. Why billions? Why are we giving up billions of dollars to Israel? Why are we giving billions of dollars, like I said previously, to Ukraine? Why? What the fuck? Why? Billions of dollars. For NATO. Why? You know? You cannot blame people to be angry. You cannot blame people, the American people, to be angry and upset and pissed off. We know what the fuck is going on. We understand what's going on. And the proof is in the pudding, what took place on November 5th. That's it. If Donald Trump, when I put it, if he's the real McCoy, he needs to operate really fast, very quick. Whatever the cabinet out there, really fast, very quick. He only got 4 years. That's it. The cabinet got 4 years to fix up this fucking mess it was creating 4 years. My hope that he got his team right. He wants to make America great again. Guess what? He got 1 year to do it. One year to do it and 3 years to whatever the chip might fall. That's it. That's it. To be honest. He wants to make America great again. He got only 4 years. That's it. He better do it quickly and fast. And surround his team. The faster the better. The faster, the better. And I know I'm going a little bit off the topic, but I'm about to call the live stream off because I think I spoke my mind in different kinds of ways. I understand this. The podcast is a clusterfuck, but I give the warning label before I'll start the podcast. If, let's say, hypothetical speaking, just one me out here in dreamland, right? Just one man. Let's play this like a movie type of shit, right? A story or something, right? Or whatever. A book, whatever, right? And let's say, hypothetical speaking, that Donald Trump asked me for advice. He found me in YouTube and stuff, and he said, I like your style and shit. Can you give me advice for this presidency? Excuse me, presidency. Which part of the so-called taxpayer government we can cut off? I would say, sir, department, not government, department. It's all the same shit. Government, department, it's all run by the same bullshit. Which department, Kendall Rican, would you like? You can get. Okay, so let's go back again. Let's say, hypothetical speaking, that he called me up and say, Kendall Rican, which department can you give me advice to abolish. No question asked. I'll say, Mr. President, abolish the Department of Education by 100,000 pieces. That's the only advice that we give. It's all polluted and corrupted. The Department of Education is a fucking joke. It started by fucking Jimmy Carter and stuff like that. If you cut that motherfucker down, if you cut that shit down, then we're going to have a brighter future for America. But you got to start there. You know why? They indoctrinate people at the early age. And I've been saying this shit for the last 12 to 15 years. The Department of Education is useless. It's worthless. They don't teach shit. Garbage. Even when I was in school, it was garbage. Utter trash. Trash. I've been to school. I went to elementary, middle school, high school, little bit of college. When I got a little bit of college, I was like, this is trash. It's bullshit. It's nonsense. Let me work and make money instead of going in these, getting 4 or 5 years and shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying people can't be educated, but the Department of Education, to me, just one man speaking, is the worst department that I can think of all the bureaucracy in the government. Well, gentlemen, like I always say, peace, state MGTOW. I will catch you next podcast live stream with video. Let the universe be with you. I'm outie.